I'm not saying it's wrong or abnormal to have like different training stations. I don't even really know the norm of how many training stations one should have. But like 3 episodes back to back, the Titans have been shown training. They are locking the fuck in.
Come on, Cyborg, push!
What's it look like I'm doing?
Punch it, Cy, straight through the roof.
Yes, inform that large mass of metal who is the boss.
Go Cyborg.
Man, this is taking me back to weight training. It's definitely realistic for your friends to cheer you on when you're going for a new PR.
It's no good! Shut it down!
No way, Cyborg! I won't let you quit! Come on, push!
However, you are definitely supposed to help take the weight off if they ask, though. Never ask Robin to spot you.
When I was an athlete, when I was human, I loved pushing my limits. Getting stronger, faster, better, just by trying harder than I ever had before. My coaches would always tell me to give 110%.
I like that they reference Cyborg being an athlete to reference his past. It explains his whole determination and sense of competitiveness, but God forbid Robin ever directly mentions Batman or even his time in Gotham. Listen, just like Raven, why would you go into what is effectively the living room when you want your own space? There is no way you're telling me that the Titans Tower's budget does not allow for them to have their own TV or game setup. I will admit, though, some of the gags do get a smirk out of me still.
Tamaranian folk songs are even more cheerful when accompanied by the Gorka pipes.
No, seriously, how does Starfire have that? She has yet to go back to her home world.
Oh, you picked the wrong day to come online and mess with Cyborg. At least I can still push myself in cyberspace.
You know, like, thinking about it now, cyberspace is such a dated term. I guess Cyborg is a tech guy, so it's not ridiculous for him to have that in his vernacular then. But, like, now I would be hard-pressed to find anyone who would use the term cyberspace.
No one defeats Atlas. I demand a rematch.
Anytime, anywhere.
Okay, like, how is he typing without any sort of keyboard, though? But man, Teen Titans really had some heavy hitters in the voice actor department. Like, of course, we got Ron Perlman, but like before we had Clancy Brown, and now we got Keith David. And shit, dude, we aren't even done yet. You know, I could say something like, how does he hear so fast, even though he was just typing? But like, some things you can't even really talk about because Teen Titans is an all-around pretty campy cartoon. So you can't really fault the technicalities of stuff like this because, well, it's a cartoon. A cartoon meant for a younger audience, I might add. And also stuff like runtime and maybe even budget plays a role in stuff like this. As well as they probably didn't predict a 21-year-old to try and make YouTube videos analyzing scenes of their, again, cartoons made for a young audience, hoping to connect with the community and also get back that childhood feeling said 21-year-old yearns for. Anyways, Atlas is an original character, but shares his name and I guess like a couple of things with another guy in the comics named Atlas. But that guy is a Superman foe, and as far as I know, he hasn't gone against the Titans, so as far as I'm concerned, Show Atlas is a Teen Titans original. However, Atlas does appear in the Cyborg 2023 miniseries, and where his name is actually an acronym, which stands for Automated Titanium Lethal Attack Sentry, which is pretty cool, I think. It adds to his character, but I don't think he's a gamer anymore, which may just be a net negative. Anyway, it's implied he's always been around, which may be confusing, but no, this is his first canonical DC appearance. And I kind of wanted to say, I just really like Show Atlas's design because it reminds me of one of those robots from Robot Boy. I don't know if anyone watched it or know what I'm talking about, but it just really reminds me of one of the designs from Robot Boy. Little side tangent, but if you're interested in the Cyborg miniseries, it so far seems like an okay story. Nothing crazy or anything that really stands out to me. I mean, like, it has the same Cyborg and his dad drama that literally every Cyborg story tells. And, like, it doesn't really do much for the character of Cyborg. Like, it feels like it's trying to prove the point that Cyborg has to be a support character. Like, he can't hold his own in his own standalone. Because they haven't done anything so far in the comic to make him an interesting character. But it does look like this going towards the advancement of tech could lead to danger storyline, which could be interesting and make sense for a Cyborg story. And it does have some funny moments. One moment that's definitely not supposed to be funny, but is to me, when they're at Silas' funeral, that's Cyborg's dad, and like some of the people there are still wearing their mask. Because like, come on. But if you're looking for a standalone Cyborg comic, then this is definitely a standalone Cyborg comic. His design is neat. I'll give them that. Like, they don't hide his meat parts like some of his designs do. So I'll give him that. You
do not want to start with me, man. Especially not over a stupid video game.
Atlas never loses.
First time for everything.
Huh. This episode is about gamer rage, huh? Also, no way that water is that shallow.
Hey, yo, my life's like a movie, my eyes are like a Uzi, jacuzzi. Get the fuck out of the way!
Sorry, folks. Can't let you interrupt the master. This match is one on one.
Oh yeah, they even got John DiMaggio before he becomes a brother. This is also one of those episodes where Titans are incredibly nerfed for, well, plot, because, like, come on, the most Robin does is throw disc when we see him give the work to Cinderblock, and Raven just splashes water on dude. In one single frame here, I know, incredibly exciting, we have Starfire's hand being completely white here, because the animators didn't color it in, thinking, no way a 21-year-old would do a frame-by-frame analysis of this episode. But joke's on you, I have no life.
The old stadium, sunset. Come if you dare, and I will let you have your friends back.
This line makes me think, though, was Atlas the best role for Keith David? I feel like there were other villains in Teen Titans more suited for his voice. Shit, I would say he'd be perfect for Brother Blood. DiMaggio does a good job already as Brother Blood, but, like, if Keith was Blood, him and Slade would be going sinister for sinister. That's all I'm saying.
Mechanic! Buff me.
Jesus, dude, this is a kid's show.
Mechanic! I want a fair fight, human. So I shall willingly forego my arsenal.
I don't really care to point out, like, coloring mistakes unless it's clear as day or I can think of a decent joke. But, like, this is literally right in your face. His hands being red instead of gold, and also it doesn't seem like he ever had his arsenal on his forearms.
Victory! Atlas wins again. Derek Wyatt of East Gotham City.
For those who don't know, this is a reference to the then alive but now late Derek J. Wyatt, who was a character designer for the Teen Titans show.
Now be quiet, humans. Master's trying to relax.
I am not human.
But you are. You should be on our side.
Yeah, not with a dirty fucking clanker, am I right, Robin? This is just more confirmation humans can just be great skin in Teen Titans universe. I like that the dude just sounds like a bomb dropping.
He doesn't respect you. He doesn't even like you. Why do you serve him?
I have no choice. Atlas is stronger than me.
No, he isn't. Atlas needs you. You're the one who fixes him. You're his strength. Without you, he's nothing, and he knows it. That's why he pushes you around. Atlas is afraid of you.
I like that Robin is the one to get into his head, shows his persuasive skills. Bet if you were to ask him who taught him that, he'd say something like, someone I knew long ago.
You have reached your limit. You cannot win.
Yes, I can! No, I cannot!
Whoa, parallels.
Don't need it anymore. My body may have its limitations, but if I put my mind to it, there's no limit to what I can do. After all, I'm only human.
Atlas is an enigma to me because, like, what is his relationship with the mechanic? Did the mechanic find him or build Atlas? And Atlas himself, is he a full robot or a cyborg? Like, cyborg. And it's not really a question that needs to be answered, but, like, at least we got some confirmation with Fix-It. But Fix-It is a more interesting character, so I guess that's why there's more of an explanation there. And I'm not saying that Atlas is a bad character either. I think he's actually pretty decently well written. He calls the mechanic just by the mechanic instead of his name to show how little respect he has for humans. And as well as he talks to himself in the third person, that just shows how highly he thinks of himself. So I think, like, overall, his short appearance is really well written. But I'm just saying, I wish we got more of his backstory. Speaking of characters who never show up again, hashtag justice for Fix-It. The mechanic, whose name I just learned is Spike. No, seriously, they don't say it anywhere. I'm pretty sure we only know it because it's in the end credits. Is another character who never shows up again, which is like, you know, it's for me. Like, it's not like Fix-It where it's an interesting character and, like, it seemed like he was going to return at some point. But it's just like, I get it, he's not a teen, but I don't think it would have been a problem seeing him in, like, the final fight, you know? But it's whatever. It's just Spike, so. But I guess that's going to be a part of my wrap-up for me. Anyways, let's talk about Cyborg. I don't know about anyone else, but this episode is, like, one of the reasons Cyborg is cool with me. Like, he's a very relatable character. Dare I say the most relatable character in the show. No, we're not all cyborgs like him, but he's somebody that's constantly hard on himself. But he'll rarely let it show. He's also a goofball that has this traumatic past that clearly hasn't been lost to him and still affects him every day. To which, of course, makes sense. but he never loses his humanity, which I believe is a core part of his character. I don't want to talk too much about Cyborg here, but well, what else is there to mention in this episode? But Cyborg still has a season for himself we have to get to, so let's hold off on the Cyborg glaze. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Have a great day, have a great night, have a great week, have a great life. Peace, peace.